So my name is Jenny Roop. I'm the Agriculture Communications Program Manager with Appalachian Sustainable Development, and I've been here for a whole 5 years now. It's kind of hard to believe. So the programs and projects that I manage, of course, the Farmer and Rancher Mentoring Program, MyASD and ASD's website. I also manage the Southwest Virginia Field School, the Veteran Recruitment and Outreach Program, and the Producer Pathway. All of these programs can be found on our website at www.asdevelop.org under Programs in the menu ribbon. So what is FARM? The Farmer and Rancher Mentoring Program was established in 2017 with a USDA Beginning Farmer and Rancher Development Program grant. Since its inception, the FARM program has trained and hosted 31 local mentor farmers, helped match 33 beginning farmers with local mentors, and aided in 25 new farm startups in Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. When we were working under the USDA grant, we were limited in the areas in which we could cover, but now our hope with the expansion of the program through the MyASD web platform is that we will be able to reach other localities throughout Appalachia, not just limited to Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. A little more about the Farmer and Rancher Mentoring Program. It's designed to provide interns with at least 200 hours of hands-on learning. So interns will work closely with their mentors on farm for a minimum of 200 hours during the growing season. Interns and mentors will log their time and submit to me, the Ag Ed Communication Manager. This is just a formality, just to make sure everybody's getting done what they're required to get done through the grant or through the program. And of course, also included is building relationships in the farming community. Participants have expressed interest in building relationships with others, believing that a strong network will increase their success while enabling them to work together to access infrastructure and services they need. So basically, building relationships that will carry them on throughout their farming career. Connections are important in this line of work, and we have a very close-knit group of farmers in the area that tend to be very helpful to one another. And finally, individualized learning goals. Mentors and interns will work together to develop their individualized learning goals designed to guide lessons learned on the farm. These written goals will guide them through the growing season and likely change over time. So basically, the individualized learning goals is something the intern and the mentor will use as a roadmap to design to guide their time on the farm, so that no time's wasted and they're working towards achieving their goals rather than having no path in what they're learning. As far as how to complete the farm program, the requirements for completion of the farm program are the same as they were before, but the program revamp allows for year-round participation. So before, the farm program was a minimum of 200 hours tailored to whatever schedule worked best for the mentor and intern. And it was only through the growing season, so spring and summer months and into a little bit of fall. We usually finished up about September, October. Now the hope is that with the new web platform, we're able to recruit year-round to help interns with various needs, such as in the wintertime, if they want to learn about farm planning, finances, things of that nature. They can work with a mentor even in the colder months when nothing's in the ground. And a list of requirements for completion are as follows. For mentors and interns, they must both submit a time log reflecting hours spent on the internship. Interns must complete a minimum of 200 hours on farm. There is no minimum requirement for mentors. So even though your intern spends 200 hours on the farm, that doesn't mean that a mentor has to be hovering over that intern for 200 hours. It doesn't have to reflect the same things. It could be as simple as the mentor showed them a particular task on farm, and then the intern spent several hours that day completing the task with slight supervision by the mentor. Also included for mentors and interns, they're required to review the handbook and sign the acknowledgement, and this should be submitted to me. The acknowledgement is in the back of the handbook. These handbooks can be found in the forums on the MyASD web platform, which we will take a look at later on in this presentation. And then for interns only, we require them to submit at least 2 blogs or vlogs, video blogs, documenting their on-farm progress. Blogs should include photos. And all of these blogs from the inception of the program until 2020 through 2020, all of those blogs are on the farm page on the website. So that's asdevelop.org/farm. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the screen, you can read them. They're all really interesting. It's cool to see the stories as they go through their 200 hours. Okay, what is MyASD? ASD's new social media type web platform designed for farmers of all experience levels to connect with one another, design a personalized profile, and have exclusive access to the farm program. This platform is totally free for all users. So in just a second, we're gonna go through a step-by-step guide on how to register, and then we're gonna do a virtual tour of MyASD. The way I describe MyASD is like it's a cross between Facebook meets farmersonly.com, except for minus the dating. So basically, it's where mentors can create their farm profile, interns can create a profile designed about their educational goals and things of that nature, and then they can search each other's profiles to find a farm that best suits their situation or an intern that best suits their situation. That's the hope. So step by step, the first thing you're going to do to register for MyASD is visit our website, asdevelop.org, and click the member icon in the top right corner. Second, you'll click register on the member's main page. You'll complete the form to create your free custom profile. You'll submit the form and wait for your confirmation email, and then customize your MyASD profile, visit the forums for community discussion, and connect with farm mentors or interns. And that's a duplicate, so we're going to ignore that. But when you're creating your profile, just as a side note, when you do create your profile, you'll have to go in and edit your profile after creation and physically mark mentor or intern so it will reflect on your page. That's a little backwards, and we're trying to work out that kink, but we'll be in open communication with all registered participants about any changes that take place. Okay, so I'm going to close this presentation momentarily, and I'm going to walk you all through a guided tour of MyASD. There is a user icon here. It looks like a little person. You're going to click here. And up at the top left-hand corner, it says login or register. We're going to register as a new user. And the registration form is pretty self-explanatory. It doesn't have a lot of detail in it, just in the initial registration process. But you're going to select, say you're registering as a farm mentor, you're going to select a farm mentor. You're going to put your name, first and last. You're going to create a username for a mentor profile. It might be useful for you to use your farm's name. Of course, you're going to create a password. And then you are going to type an email address that goes along with this profile. Just for the sake of having an example, I'm going to use my real estate profile, or email address rather. And then date of birth. that I did there. And then here is your address. These fields are not required, so we're not going to go all the way through them, but I would prefer you do that so that mentors or interns know exactly where you're located. Of course, your farm name, business name, organization name, whatever is applicable here. And the best way to contact you, so whether it's phone, email, mail. If you want to subscribe to our e-newsletter, if you haven't already, you click this little box and you'll get registered. And then we've got a few demographics questions down here. Mark whether you are active military or military veteran, a person with a disability, your ethnicity, and what languages you speak. We're going to submit after we've created our profile. And then we're going to enjoy MyASD. I should be getting an email to that email address later on. When you click that, it just says, thank you, you've registered. After you've registered, I have to physically go into the back end of the website and approve your profile. But it doesn't require me to do that for you to go in and edit your profile, I don't believe. So let me see here. Okay, so my mistake, I do have to confirm before you can go in and edit your profile. I have to confirm your new user profile. But in the meantime, just for tour purposes, I'm going to show you what it looks like after you've created a profile, after I've approved you and all that stuff. So you're going to click My Profile, click your little icon, go to My Profile, and it's going to look a little similar to Facebook with your background image and your profile picture. From this section, you can see your recent activity. So here you can see my recent activities. I've posted some in my forum, and in the forum, I've posted a new background photo, so on and so forth. Then you can go to your profile itself. That's where you're going to see your About Me section, your website, your phone number, contact information, and your programs. This is where I was talking about you have to physically go in and select Farm Mentor or Farm Intern when you create your profile. By doing that, by editing anything in your profile, you can click Edit and just go from there. It's pretty basic. And down here's where you select what you're registered as. And you can also change your profile picture and change your cover image in this section as well. When you go to notifications, it's basically just like your notifications on Facebook. When you click that little icon on the bottom of the screen, it shows so-and-so liked your forum post, or so-and-so replied to a post in this forum, or whatever. It'll show all that here. You can receive private messages. So if you find a mentor or intern that you're interested in pairing with, you can private message them via this system, or you can use their contact information they've provided and contact them that way, whatever floats your boat. But this is where you're going to see your private messages. Of course, you also have a friends list. Any social media would be incomplete without a friends list. You can go through and see other users' profiles. I'll show you that later, but this is where all of your friends will appear. You click on forums, and it's going to show any forum topics that you've started. So far, I've started 4 topics. And it will also show any replies created by you in the forums, any engagements on your posts or your topics. Anything that you've liked will show up in the favorites section. And then, of course, you can subscribe to updates on particular topics, and that'll show here. And then in the settings, this is just where you can edit your account email, generate a new password, set up your profile visibility so that you can set who sees your profile. It could be everyone, only you, all members, or just your friends. And then also you can export your data from your profile as well. Okay, moving on. So when you click here, or when you scroll over this little person, you'll have the MyASD dashboard. If you go there, or you click on that home button that was in the top, it's just going to take you to this members page where we've got all of our active members. I think I saw Miss Megan's profile up here. And this is the guy that designed our website for us, Jeremy Bice. He's awesome. And then, of course, we've got ASD staff on here and everything. So you can search through here and find people you know, or search via keyword. Search for mentors, search for interns, whatever, on that page. Then you're going to go to your forums page. This is where we can log in to discuss different programs happening throughout ASD's programs, but for this function in particular, we would be focused on the farm page only. These are marked as private because we don't want them to be open to the public. We only want them open to registered members. So that's why they're marked as private. So in this topic, the farm topic, you'll find the Q&A presentation, which I'll be uploading after this. And then we have our farm intern handbook and farm mentor handbook, where registered participants as a mentor or intern will review this document and send me a virtually signed copy of the acknowledgement page in the back that we spoke about earlier. When you go here, you can also add topics to this forum, or you can click on these topics and do a reply. I mean, it's pretty basic, just like any other forum. Click on account and order history. This is just going to show you, it'll take you back to your dashboard. If you've ever placed an order with Appalachian Sustainable Development for any farm products or ASD swag or anything like that, your orders will show in this section. Anything you've ever downloaded while registered with MyASD from, say, our resources page, which is located here, will show up in this section. Not real sure what addresses is, to be perfectly honest. Oh, billing and shipping addresses. You can edit these as you see fit. And then account details. This is where you can edit your stuff as well. I'm not real sure why we have duplicates of this, but it's neither here nor there. You got two places you can edit your profile. Feel free to open up your mics and ask me any questions you may have. I know that was a lot of information, but hopefully a lot of simple information. Pam, I know you already got the gist of the farm program because you've mentored before. Glad to have you back.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Megan.
Thank you. I was clicking on the farm intern handbook, and then it goes to Google and it says you need access. So if I just click get access, will that shoot an email to you, and then later on I'll get notified that I'm able to access it? Or are there not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an error on my end. I need to edit the privacy of that. So I will get on that. Thank you for checking that.
Okay.
Let me know.
And then I had one more question. With the different profiles, like looking down them, I noticed that some of them have a field that says what the person is registered as, whether like a farm mentor or farm intern, and some of them are pretty completely blank. So I mean, obviously I wouldn't just reach out to a random person because they're clearly not active. Would those just be staff probably?
Several of them are staff. If you have any questions about them, I can let you know. But anybody that has already marked themselves as a mentor or intern will show up on the farm page. I have to go in and manually add them, but their profiles will show up on the farm webpage. I need to send an email out to registered folks to see who is registered as a mentor or intern, because it hasn't automatically updated that in our system. But that's a web development issue that I've discussed with our web developer, and he's trying to work on that. So it'll just auto populate,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
So stand by.
Thanks.
But currently, Megan, your profile should be showing up on the farm page as an intern.
Oh,
So
okay.
you'll see what I mean if you look at it. Mhm.
And the farm page is at the asdevelop.com/farm.
.org/farm.
Oh,
Yep.
.org/farm. Yeah, that's right. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Uh-huh.
So what you're saying is there's more mentors registered. They're just not up on the site yet.
There are very few
Okay.
registered mentors and interns right now. This is simply an effort to try and recruit more folks by giving them a better understanding of the process. This is not how farm used to be. I facilitated all the relationships. So in an effort to make this program more sustainable, we're making it more web-based. So you guys have the thumbprint on it, and you guys can make the relationships, and I can take a step back and manage via the website. Used to, we interviewed every single intern before we paired them with a mentor, and then the mentors interviewed the intern. This eliminates that entire process. And that way, say Megan and Tamara decide they want to get together and chat about a possible internship relationship, they would do that themselves. They would plan that themselves and get together on their own time and figure out, yeah, it's a good fit, or no, I don't think this is going to work, or whatever. So.
Hey, it's Tamara. So you can sign people up any time of the year, and so it's like free, or not free, but self, like I guess what what you were just saying. People
Yes.
can do it themselves, and you can step back from it. And then another question was, previously we were only allowed to have one person, I believe. What if more than one person makes sense or wants to work on the farm? How does that function?
I think that whatever, as a mentor, you feel like you can handle, I say go for it. At this point, MyASD is just kind of facilitating all of that connection. And if you feel like you can handle 10 interns and we have them available, I think you go for it. As long as you follow the components of the program, the requirements as far as the time log and things of that nature, we're good.
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Perfect.
And this is another question. There used to be payments for mentors and mentees. Do those still exist, or is it more just the benefit? Because there is a huge benefit. I appreciate what you guys do in connecting us. Is there still?
Yeah, so there is not a payment.
Okay.
But to explain what Tamara's speaking of, when we first started with the USDA grant for this program, we incentivized participants through funding to allow them to participate. Through the 3-year period that we had, we started cutting down the stipend that participants received. And by the 3rd year, we can't remember if we definitely eliminated it or almost completely eliminated it from the program. So the reason we do that is because A, we have the funding to do it, and B, long-term, it's not sustainable to continue to pay folks to participate. And as Tamara said, the benefit much outweighs the stipend, I think. And I think our other mentors and interns felt the same.
Agreed.
So, and it wasn't a huge amount of money. I mean, we're a nonprofit, so, but it was still incentivizing, and it helped get the program started. But no, we do not have the stipend anymore.
Absolutely
So,
understood, and that's good to know, so that somebody like me, I want to return the energy that people are giving to my farm. So that means I need to
sure.
step up in the area of returning.
Yeah, and that could be, this is what we've talked about in previous years. That could be anything from, and I recommend mentors put this in their profiles on their page, like if you have a place that they could stay, like an Airbnb type tiny house or something on your farm where they can stay while they work there, or provide them with fresh vegetables from the garden, or whatever perks that you have to offer from your farm. If you want to offer money, that's totally up to you, but you don't have to do that. The benefit for the interns is the experience, and the hands-on experience is you can't trade that, I think. So for sure, whatever perks you feel you are able to provide as a mentor, I applaud you for that. Do we have any other questions?
I have a question to kind of expand on that. Because I have experience through like the woofing model. So like what you're saying kind of sounds a little bit similar to that, where it's seems to be just just figure it out between the mentor and the mentee as to what's available and that energy exchange. But there's the concrete figure of at least 200 hours per. And then, so since my question is a little bit, so that 200 hours, is that like per, January, like calendar year now that it's more open, or where is that 200 hour requirement to be filled?
Okay, that's a really good question. So used to, the 200 hours was completed within a 6-month period. It was pretty straightforward. Now it has to be completed within the year. So the date you start on farm, sorry, my dog wants me to pet him. The day you start on the farm to the day you complete on the farm. You can always do more than 200 hours. If it takes you a year, that's fine. I don't think it's going to be as beneficial to you if it takes you a whole year to do 200 hours, but we've always said we want it to be as easy for both mentor and intern as possible, so you guys work together to decide what schedule works best for you. So yeah, within the calendar year from start to finish, start date to end of the calendar year.
Gotcha. Is there any rules about an intern working with multiple farms?
We have actually had that. Like I said to Tamara about having multiple interns, I think it's what you can handle. I would suggest sticking with your learning goals. If you find multiple farms that that you're willing and able to work on that align with whatever your learning goals are, I think that go for it. I mean, conquer the world. If you want to take on them all, then take them all on. I think it's up to you. Just don't overdo it,
Gotcha. And the learning goals, I wrote some of my like personal reasons why in my profile. Was there something more structured that you had in mind for the learning goals, or is that pretty much it?
So we used to have a document for the learning goals that was a pretty good roadmap. You remember them, Tam, I'm sure. It could be, I'll upload the document into the forum so you guys can see what it looks like. But you don't have to use that document. You can journal your learning goals. So my suggestion is pick 3 or 4 solid goals and stick to them as best you can. But the format doesn't really matter. As long as you know what they are, that's cool.
Thank you.
And your mentor knows what they are. That's important too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any more? We have till 1 o'clock. We could talk for at least 20 more minutes.
I'm just excited about the program, learning about it, and I think this is a cool. Moving it online seems interesting and good as long as people get on it and use it. Yeah, I'm excited to see mentors pop up and other interns and whatnot.
Awesome. Yeah. So we did this. There was discussion before the end of our first grant funding this work to make the web platform as a more sustainable way of hosting the program. But then we had good old COVID, and it was like, well, we should do this because the internet. So, and then it got held off till this year, and COVID's about gone. So, it's going to work anyway. We're going to hope it's going to work anyway. But you guys, everybody that participates is going to help it move right along. If you find yourself out and about with other farmers or other beginning farmers or whatever, and you want to help spread the word, that would be wonderful. We just want to get as many people involved as possible and really build this community and keep this thing going, because it's a really wonderful program. I really encourage you to go and read those blogs on the farm page if you haven't already done so. They're really inspiring, and we've got some funny stories. We've got some serious stories. We've got some really heartfelt stories. But Miss Tamara's been a mentor you were a mentor, at least your farm was a host for all 3 years, right? So she's been involved with us for a good while.
I didn't do it last year, but I think every year you've done otherwise. Yeah. Really, it's great.
Yeah, we
program.
took a break last year. We didn't have anybody last year because we did take a break. So, but now we're ready. We're gonna kill it.
I thought of one more question.
Okay.
You were talking about the registering as a beginning farmer or gardener, because I feel like I kind of fall into 2 categories, but I wanted to ask about that. So I kind of feel like I'm I'm playing an intern role, and I'm also feeling like a beginner farmer. So is the beginner farmer kind of for the Grow Your Own program though? I've read about that. Or
Yes. Yeah, well, yes and no. So if you go to our programs page, it's in that pop ribbon that I showed you guys on the website earlier. There, if you scroll down, the first section that you'll come to is called the Producer Pathway. And we developed this last year while the farm program was kind of in a lull of, it's just a tool to use for beginning farmers to use to figure out where they fall on the path of their educational needs and which programs suit them based on their specific educational needs. So when you create your MyASD profile, you can select, when you go back in and go to edit profile, like I showed you earlier, you can actually select both, if I'm not mistaken. If you can't, let me know, and I will have that changed, because you should be able to select both. So if you go to our programs page, take a look at that producer pathway. There's different bubbles based on experience levels, so beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels. And it'll tell the details about each program that we offer, services that we offer based on those experience levels. So you can kind of get an idea of what you're looking at there. Cool. Anybody else?
Well, let me ask. Am I muted? No. Hello.
Nope, we can hear you.
Let me ask. Okay. Like besides the on-farm experience, what are the benefits of completing the program? Is it like increased credibility with the ASD, or anything? Does that make sense?
The benefits are all yours. It's whatever you see the benefits as. none of that really builds credibility. We're going to keep in touch with you regardless of if you complete the program or not, just because we want to
Gotcha.
stay involved with beginning farmers. So as I mentioned to Megan, the producer pathway would be a really good tool for you too. So what I like to encourage people to do, depending on their stage of experience, if you complete the farm program, my suggestion is to take a look at the producer pathway, and based on what production you're looking to get into, what type of production, we offer several webinars in agroforestry. We also offer the Southwest Virginia Field School, which has a lot of business planning, financial management, things of that nature in there. So if you're looking to turn profit with your farming operation, that would be a good program for you to take part in as well. And that's one of the programs that I manage in the winter months. And that's all information on that's also on our website. So if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me on that as well. I think another
Gotcha.
huge benefit
Is
is
the
that our
field
programs
school
are free.
happening again this year?
Yeah,
Right.
it is. Yeah, so
Cool.
sorry, I think I'm lagging a
Looking
bit.
forward to more information about that. Internet's
Yeah,
not too great
so-
up in White Top, so.
Oh gosh, yeah, I know all about that. I'm right down the mountain from you in Abingdon, so yeah, the field school, the summer field school starts back up in May. We're getting ready to start pushing recruitment for that. Recruitment for participants at the end of March, and then recruitment for recruiting presenters will start next week. So keep an eye out for it. That portion of the field school, the summer field school, is very topic based. So we go to various farms throughout Southwest Virginia and learn about beekeeping and no-till in your garden, and let's see, composting. What else do we do? Rotational grazing, hemp, agroforestry, all sorts of things. We go visit farms and they tell us all about it. It's pretty fun. So that's another beginning farmer avenue for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I will share this recording so you guys know, you know what we talked about. Okay.
Thanks, Jenny.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.